Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is Tuesday, and we are continuing our reading of Warrior Goddess Training. Been reading it since the beginning of September to honor the 7th birthday of Warrior Goddess Training. And we are on lesson 7, Open Your Heart. So we are reading the 10 lessons of Warrior Goddess Training together each weekday morning. Hey, Doreen. And I'm always so happy to share from this little book. And so share where you're tuning in from. I just sent out a newsletter, which I'm so excited about. Good morning, Valerie. So if you are not on our newsletter list, I want to invite you to get on the newsletter list because I'm doing a grand drawing and I just decided what the grand drawing is for. Are you ready? It's for autographed copies of all of my books, all 9 copies, and free year in the Warrior Goddess Training Circle, and 4 bars of my favorite chocolate, and some other special gifts that I'll toss in there. So the drawing is between now and next week. Here's how you enter the drawing. Oh, that's right. You have to join the list. Okay, join the list, and then I'll tell you how to join the drawing. How's that? So how do you join the list? warriorgoddess.com. Boom. warriorgoddess.com. All right. Good morning. Good. Let us continue with our reading and with thoughts from Warrior Goddess Training. We are on page 98, I believe. Let me look. Yes. So yesterday we talked about victim and judge and did an exercise around noticing the messages of the judge and victim. I hope you all were able to join us, got some space around it. Today, we are exploring practicing metta, loving kindness. This is a really beautiful journey into our heart. So let's step into it together. Okay. This is an ancient Buddhist meditation called metta. There is an ancient Buddhist meditation called metta, or loving kindness. This is a great warrior goddess heart practice that will have a huge impact on your heart. The goal of practicing metta is to help you reverse your programming so you can open your heart rather than closing it. The practice of metta involves 4 steps. First, you start by sending loving kindness to yourself. Then you send loving kindness to a family member or a dear friend. Next, you send loving kindness to an acquaintance or someone you are neutral about. And the final step is to send loving kindness to someone you dislike or feel resentful toward. Sending loving kindness is kind of like sending someone a blessing or positive intentions or a prayer that this person experience only love and bounty in their life. As you can imagine, it is much easier to do this for a dear friend or family member than it is for someone you dislike. This begs the question, why would you want to feel loving towards someone you don't agree with, or towards someone who wronged you or betrayed you, or towards someone doing atrocious acts? Because any energy you send out goes through your own physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being first. So when you send out judgment, you are feeding yourself judgment. When you send out hatred, you are actually bathing all of your cells in hatred before it goes anywhere. The only outcome of this is more deep-rooted self-hatred and judgment. But when you send out love, you experience that love as well. For example, after taking the first 3 steps of metta, I chose a political figure I strongly disliked for step 4. This was a while ago. My political figure was Bush Sr. That's how long ago this was. Because my desire to open my heart was bigger than my desire to hold blame and separation towards another human, I eventually was able to send this person loving kindness. Now, when I see a photo of this particular person, my heart opens. I still don't agree with him, but I no longer withhold my love to myself by not loving him. For many women, it's easier to start your metta practice first with someone you love, move to someone you feel neutral about, and then bring loving kindness to yourself. That's because so often women have deeply buried self-loathing. Practicing loving kindness with someone who opens your heart first, and then with someone you are neutral about, lays the groundwork for bringing that same loving kindness to yourself and gently erasing, layer by layer, any self-rejection or self-hatred. So here's the exercise. Start by sending loving kindness to a dear friend, family member, or pet, anyone that you feel genuine love and appreciation for. Let the energy build and feel it moving out and coming back to you. Anchor this feeling in your body. Let's do this together. So this practice of sending out loving kindness, I want to be super, super clear that this is not about everything's fine. If I just love everybody, I never have to take any action or look at the damage that they're causing. And I never have to take responsibility for the damage I'm causing because I'm just being loving to everyone. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is learning. For me, what I found in my own experience of practicing this idea of loving kindness and opening my heart, even when I don't want to, even when I don't like the person, even when I highly disagree with the person, is that it allows me to bring that love through myself. As we said, I'm not poisoning myself by hating by hating somebody else, by sending poison towards somebody else and then poisoning myself in the process. I'm learning how to love them as a human, accept them as a human that is wounded, that is traumatized, that is struggling, that is misguided, perhaps that is doing their best or not. But that I can simply hold acceptance that there is another human, even if I don't like what they're doing. Okay. So it doesn't mean that I forgive or negate their behavior. I'm not forgiving or negating their behavior. I'm being honest about the hurt that their behavior is causing, just as I would be honest about the hurt I was causing. But just because, let's say, I make a mistake and cause hurt, or I'm misled, doesn't mean I don't deserve to honor this human as I'm learning. And what happens when we practice loving kindness towards ourselves and other people, and we keep our heart open, is that we're able to more discern, like we talked about yesterday about this idea of judging versus discerning. Learning how to open your heart to others, regardless of what their behavior is, actually gives you more capacity to discern next steps. And it takes us out of this incredible polarity of they're evil or they're good. Either they're a devil or they're an angel. And that does not help. It doesn't help. So the places that we're struggling with wanting other humans to be different, we can start discerning how can we take new action. And it's incredibly helpful to do that towards others so that we are acknowledging, again, their humanity, and with our open heart, getting super clear, what are my next steps? Connecting to our intuition, connecting to our inspiration as well. Yeah. So let's do this first part of the practice together. So I'm just going to read this sentence and then we'll practice. I send loving kindness to fill in the blank. We're going to work with somebody that you really love. So think about someone that you care for deeply, that you really love. It might be a child. It might be your dog. It might be a spiritual teacher who's inspired you. It could be anybody. My wish is that they experience only love and happiness in their life. So I love that we get to practice this together for a minute. We're just going to take a minute. And what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and imagine in front of you someone you deeply love, that you care about, that is an inspiration to you. And imagine that person in front of you and feel your gratitude, your love, your acceptance. Feel your open heart towards them. And just breathe and let yourself feel that open-hearted, loving kindness towards this other person that you care about deeply. Just breathe and feel that in your being. Okay. And now say, I send loving kindness to, and fill in their name. I send loving kindness to my friend, my beloved. My wish is that they experience only love and happiness in their life. My wish is that they only experience love and happiness in their life. Okay, so just holding that for a moment. Good. And go ahead and open your eyes. Just notice, how do you feel? How does it feel to send loving kindness out to someone that you care about? Go ahead and share in the chat. How does it feel? And here's a bonus. If you love someone and you're worried about them, do metta, do this practice. Okay. Instead of worrying, thinking of all the worst case scenarios, can you send them loving kindness? So with the person that you know that's struggling with addiction, that is not sure where they're going to live next or what job they have, anybody that you're worried about, and this is a great place to start. Yeah, beautiful. Is with someone you really care about. And you don't have to wait till they're an emergency. It's actually better to practice when they're in a good space and you can send them loving kindness. You can practice opening your heart towards them. Okay. And then you can also, when you are worried about them, do that as well. You know, I have people in my life right now that I have worry about. I mean, like, keep me up at night worry. And what I'm learning to do, what I've taught myself over the years, is that I'll let myself feel the worry and my fear, whatever it is, and then I'll redirect and say, what energy do I want to be sending them? And I love sending people my faith. Like, I have faith in you. I trust what's unfolding. Loving kindness, like whatever it is, instead of going into worry, you can shift it. What do you want for them? Send them that, vision them with that, love them into that. And then listen for what action you can take, not from caretaking, but from your open heart. Yeah, it is a really freeing practice. And that's just part one of it. So the next part is, and you start there, and you might do this for months. You might do this for years of just with a person that you care about, you practice opening your heart, sending them loving kindness, sending them loving kindness, sending them faith, sending them blessings. Okay, start there. Then what you want to move towards is somebody you're neutral about. Okay, next, embody the same sense of loving kindness towards someone you feel neutral about or towards an acquaintance. Practice cultivating the same amount of loving kindness that you felt in the first practice. So you can see how you start to stagger this. So you feel, okay, what do I feel like? What's the open-hearted, present feeling in my body when I'm imagining someone I love? What does that feel like? How do I access that? Because that's your love, sweethearts. That's yours. That's you choosing to open your heart. And then you can start to up-level it or deepen it, and go either way, of somebody that you're neutral about and loving them. Okay. So cool. And then you up-level it again. And for the warrior goddess work, the up-level is apply the same wish to yourself. Take your time here and really envision all the good things you want in your life and watch them come true. I send loving kindness to myself. My wish is that I experience only love and happiness in my life. And I'm going to put a caveat on here. Only love and happiness does not mean you don't have grief. You don't have loss. You don't have tenderness and vulnerability. For me, that's built in to life. So it's about being deeply grateful for this life. Okay. And then the next layer is to embody loving kindness towards someone you dislike. Start with the person you have a mild aversion to. So better not to like jump to the person that is your, ex-partner that deeply betrayed you and talked bad about you. You might not want to start there, or your, parent that abused you. You may not want to start there. You can start with someone that you have mild aversion to and then build your way up. Okay. Yeah, only when you're able to consistently send out loving kindness towards this person should you move on to someone you more actively judge. Eventually, you will work yourself to sending loving kindness towards people you feel you hate or judge fiercely. You may have to work through resistance, fear, and distaste. Keep breathing. The practice of loving kindness reinforces the idea that it's not our hatred or judgment that brings positive change to the world. It is our presence and capacity to love unconditionally that does so. Choosing to be compassionate towards someone does not mean your heart's with his or her actions. You do not agree with his or her actions. It means your authentic heart honors their authentic heart. Okay, I'm going to leave this till tomorrow because this is a big conversation. Because it's so easy to connect this with spiritual bypass. And I'm so not about spiritually bypassing people. I'm so about going in, doing the hard work, working through conflict. So let's start here, or continue here, around this idea of loving kindness. Let's start by using it with people that you care about, and deepen into when you then worry about that person that you're caring about. Can you send them loving kindness? Can you send them the energy that you most wish for them and hold that? Okay, spiritual bypass. Let's talk about this. So it's very easy in spiritual work to have the belief, to take on the belief, if I just think right and I just am happy and positive all the time, then only good things will happen to me. And if I avoid the uncomfortable parts of my life, if I avoid my shame, if I avoid my guilt, if I push down my anger, if I pretend like all of those things I don't like about myself or I don't know how to process, if I just push them down, if I repress the challenging things that I haven't processed in my life, that somehow I can stay happy and positive and that my life will be right. Okay, so that's spiritual bypassing. It's when we use spiritual practice to go over and around hard things rather than using spiritual practice to strengthen us to go through hard things, to go through our challenges, to walk towards the shadow, to walk towards the conflict, not to create more conflict, but to learn how to be in relationship with our shame, with our bitterness, with our anger, so that we can untangle it. So how I think about it is that we're willing to get messy and get in there and untangle it. And that takes tools. It takes learning capacity. And there's a lot of harm that's been done in the wellness community and in spiritual communities with this idea of I can avoid discomfort in my life. I can just be happy and light. And anything I don't like, I can reject. I can push down, I can hide, or I can demonize out there. Well, if they were just more spiritual, then everything would be fine. Okay. So that place of negating our humanity, trying not to be messy, like life's messy, beloveds. It's messy. There's a lot that we're cleaning up. So for me, being in a deep spiritual practice is that you're learning how to do metta, something like a loving kindness practice with the people that you really care about. And you're also learning, this takes practice again, to clean up the shit in your life, to clean up the messes that you've made or the messes that other people have created that you've taken on. This isn't about fixing everybody else's mess. This is about cleaning up your own messes and the places where you've taken on agreements, beliefs, patterns that don't serve us. It doesn't serve us to try and push down and demonize what we don't like and say this is a bad emotion or this is a bad experience. I don't want to think about it any longer. What supports us is bringing things up to work with them and untangle them so we can get free. Okay, so let's, big topic, right? We're not going to unpack this in the next 5 minutes. That's why I've written a lot of books. Okay, we're learning to go through rather than go around or go over. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Kathy. And I've got 2 announcements for you guys to remind me before we close. Kathy, I love that you won last year. So Kathy won autographed books Year in the Circle last year. And Kathy is correct. The Warrior Goddess training book is on sale right now, still for 99 cents, Kindle. So Kindle, you don't have to have a Kindle reader. You can just be able to read on your computer, on your phone. So if you don't have a copy of Warrior Goddess Training, the book that we've been reading, heads up, it's still 99 cents on Kindle. You can also get it anywhere that you can get books. Renee, I wish I'd met you in 1987, but grateful I have now so I can learn the tools I need to open this giant box I buried back then. Oh, yeah. I know. I'm so glad you're in the community, Renee. And that's slow and steady. We're going to unbury the boxes that we all buried, like those little places of trying to keep ourselves safe so that we can open them and clean them out so that we have more spaciousness. When we clean out those old boxes that we buried, those things that we pushed down, when we actually get the tools and the support to clear them out, we become more inspired, more loving, more present, more capable. My passion is helping people become more present and capable, being in relationship to the mystery. We have to empty out to do that. It takes work. But what do you do if you do that, but still they avoid you asking when something is needed to be done for them, still, yet you decide to do with no second guessing? What would you have done if you really care for that person? The mess you made is the mess with that person. Okay, I don't quite understand the question, but let me do a kind of pitch hit at it and see if this helps. Sue, so glad to have you here. Oh, beautiful. Thanks, Emily. Yes, Doreen, very much like being in denial, not a river in Egypt. Very much like that. Yeah. And it's made pretty. Like I'm going to make it pretty because I'm going to spiritualize it. It's not pretty. We have to go through people. We have to learn the skills and the capacity to go through. Okay. You can only take responsibility for yourself. You can't control other people or demand that they be different. You can make boundaries. You can really look at what's mine and what's not mine. And I think that's so much part of the sorting that we're all in right now, is taking responsibility for what is my work to do and stop doing other people's work for them or trying to make them a particular way. Set boundaries, babies, with yourself. With yourself. Okay. It's another part of the spiritual bypassing or the denial is, oh, well, I never have to create boundaries because I just am going to love everyone. No, it doesn't mean you never create boundaries. You can care and love about somebody and make boundaries with them and make really clear boundaries, like I never want to see you again sort of boundaries, or this behavior is not okay sort of boundaries from an open-hearted place. No. And you can also learn with people that you really dislike or you are completely against what they're believing in. You can still acknowledge their humanity and stay open that this is a human following their own belief system, which they get to have, and still say, no, that doesn't work. But you don't have to hate or push them away in a armoring, you are bad, evil sort of way. Can make a boundary from nope, no. So I hope that helps. This is it's a big topic, right? Yeah, exactly. Codependence and enabling issues. Exactly. Melanie, great question. Should each and every shadow fear be unboxed? For example, I have a big fear of darkness in the night since I can think of it. Yeah. So no, you don't have to unpack every single box. And you want to look at, how is this limiting me? How is this limiting me? There are many fears, I think, that we need to move towards, and we do that in little bitty baby steps. So like a fear from darkness, you need to feel in and ask yourself, is this affecting me? And would it be a healing, helpful thing for me to not have as much fear of the dark? Is that a next step? You know, I related this when I read lesson 5 around sexuality. I cleaned up everything around my sexuality. I was afraid of my sexuality. And at one point I got super clear. I'm like, I got to go in. Like the fear I have around my sexuality, that's a place I need to reclaim my power. And it took years, little baby steps, some really big steps. Okay. And now I have a completely different relationship with my sexuality. So each of us have these areas, whether it's fear of the dark, whether it's fear of our sexuality, fear of our power, places that we have old patterns and habits of self-sabotage, like whatever it is. Do you have to unbox all of them? No, you don't. You don't have to unbox any of them. Here's the truth. How's it affecting your life? And I think that when we really listen to our beings, when we get more in touch with what I would call our big soul, we then can listen to what's my next step. And it's not about throwing yourself into the darkness. It's about doing little bitty baby steps. One day I'll have Serena come in. I don't know, Serena, if you're still watching, she's on the plane, and talk about her transformation around her fears around the wilderness, darkness. Phenomenal. Oh, beautiful, Renee. Oh my God, that was the best, right? I'll share a story from that. Yeah. Bye, Valerie. Love you. So we did a really beautiful ceremony in Sedona because I know so many people are afraid of the dark. I love the dark. Good, Serena. I love the dark. Like, put me out in the middle of the woods in the darkness. I am a happy, happy girl. I had to build up to that. Okay, so whole story around that. But in Sedona, I just want you all to imagine this because it was so beautiful. There's a lake on the property that has a beautiful path all the way around it. And I had all the warrior goddesses turn their phone lights on and walk all the way around the lake. And we spread out. And there were like 40 of us. And we spread out around the lake with our flashlights. And then I had everyone sit or stand and turn their lights off. So we were in the darkness, but we were in the darkness together. It was so beautiful. And then we all turned our lights on and held our lights up around this lake. So all these little twinkly lights around. So we don't have to, again, when we're working through our shadows, through our fears, through the discomfort, through our own anger, whatever it is, it takes time to unravel these things. And we want to do it in a safe way. We want to support ourselves and take baby steps. Good, Renee. I loved that. Okay. This is why I'm so passionate around community, around having friends that are on the journey with you so that we're standing in the darkness with our lights and that we can turn the lights off and practice resting into, what does this feel like? How do I'm safe here? Reminding ourselves, remembering, and that we can then continue to grow and stretch ourselves. So I want to share a little bit about the Warrior Goddess Training Circle, because for me, this is one of those lights in the darkness places where we learn how to go towards our discomfort, where we learn how to stretch ourselves, where we learn how to grow, where we learn to become more rooted, more capable, more inspired, more intentful, more connected to our intuition, where we are held in untangling. It's an incredibly beautiful circle. And next week, we start what we call the journey of the 9 moons. So we're stepping in together to go through the lessons in Warrior Goddess training. We're going through the 9 first lessons 1 through 9 in Warrior Goddess training. And part of that journey of the 9 moons are many things I don't teach anywhere else except for within the journey of the 9 moons, or what's also we've called in the past Ignite. So if you're looking for community, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for friendship, if you're wanting a light in the darkness during these challenging times, and to learn tools to become more capable, more present, more loving, to have fun as well, because we have a lot of fun with each other. The circle's open. We're going to be closing it very soon, but the circle's open for now. And you can join for free through November 1st. We're still in the trial period through November 1st by going to warriorgoddess.com/circle, coupon code YAY. So I'll just share that here. So go check it out. Boom. Okay, coupon code YAY. So go check that out. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Coupon code YAY. Thanks, Serena. Coupon code YAY. Sakina, I already answered your question a couple of times, sweetheart. Oh, Melanie, we have a thing for you. So Melanie just I'd love to go on a vision quest. Serena, who was on this broadcast, I think she may be gone now, but she still may be here, is doing wilderness quests on our land. So the Warrior Goddess community, we have 180 acres outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico, where we're just now starting. We're doing the first one. Serena's doing the first wilderness quest, end of October. So anyway, just know that we're crafting that. We have space to support women in coming and being more in relationship to their own wildness and in relationship to the land. Super excited about that. Thanks, Serena. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about my birthday, which is tomorrow. I love my birthday. And my birthday, like this time of year is always, and it kind of always takes me by surprise, is where I have like deep pause around what am I doing? How am I doing it? Am I doing the right thing? Like it's a real time of review in my life. And so this year, thanks, Serena. So this year I am, doing a couple things. So one, Libra balance, one big giveaway starting tomorrow. So I'll post it on social media. I wrote about it in my newsletter today. The big giveaway is all of my books autographed, so a whole package and a handwritten letter, a free year of the Warrior Goddess Training Circle, 4 of my favorite chocolate bars, just that is worth it, and other gifts that I'll put in that big box. Okay, so there's a drawing. One person will win that. The drawing is from tomorrow, October 13th through the 20th. And the way that we're going to do the drawing is pretty simple, but you got to be on the email list. I know. So you got to join the email list to get the secret of how to join. Okay, it's super easy. But go to warriorgoddess.com, scroll to the bottom, join. Okay. Once you're on the list, we'll send you an email tomorrow that'll tell you how to join the drawing. Okay, super simple. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so that's the one thing, the giveaway. Yay! And again, I'll do the drawing October 20th. The other thing is the request, my ask, and I will post this tomorrow. And I asked in the newsletter today. And it is hard for me to ask sometimes people, but I actually feel really easy about asking for this. So over the last year, 2 years, I have put approximately, let's calculate this, probably at least $50,000 at least into the ranch, getting it ready for us to have events, to have retreats. So and that's not the cost of the land, that's just the building. I'm just talking about what we've put in to create the sacred space for our community. So as many of you know, we've been building a community kitchen by hand, building the adobe bricks, putting it all together. It's unbelievable what we have done. And that's part of what I'll do tonight. Oh, excited, is share like the video that's the process, the progress. So the building just got closed in. Bless my partner, Franklin, who has been just an angel with all of it. We have a roof, we have windows, we have doors, it's sealed. It's exciting. And we just bought a yurt. So I paid for half of the yurt, and I want to ask for support in raising the money for the second half of the yurt. The yurt is a 30-foot yurt that's being custom designed for us and for that land because it's wild. It's New Mexico, snow, wind, all sorts of stuff. And I got to design it, and it comes November. So they're building it right now. And the fundraiser, the birthday fundraiser, which will go for the next week, is to raise money to complete the yurt, okay? To fund and complete the yurt. So if you want to be part of that project, if you want to support that project, everyone who donates will write your name on the beams of the foundation, and we'll do a little blessing and ceremony whenever we put the yurt up. I'm not sure when it's going to get put up. It really depends on weather and timing. So would love your support to have you be part of the building. And here's the thing with me for the Warrior Heart Ranch is that it's a community project. Like I could have gone in and just done everything in a way of like just had the building built, but to have everybody's hands and hearts, because I know a lot of you have donated to the Adobe Brick Fund or to the Rock Fund that we had, that there's so much of our community energy and love in this process and in the building. And I want to keep it that way. So I'm in the process of reopening, we can say, our nonprofit, the Center for Creative Intent. It's not quite there yet. But so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do the fundraiser through the business for now. But we will have a way that people can donate and get tax deductions. Yes, and we'll have lots of work parties in 2022. Serena, I love that you're here and chiming in. And now you know what I'm doing next, right? We had a team meeting yesterday. My team was like, could you tell us when things are happening rather than us learning about it on Facebook? And I'm like, I'll do my best, but here I am announcing on Facebook things my team doesn't know yet. So, hi. Easy to donate. There's a button. I will share it tomorrow. Hi, Tara, my other team. I'll share the link tomorrow. I'm not going to share it today because I'm going to launch it tomorrow, but just know that if you, and there's another Serena. I love it. Yay. If you're on the mailing list, the button's there already. So if you want to go to the newsletter today, yeah, it's in the Santa Fe area. Renee, you can totally come visit, come work party with us. Yeah, it's close to Phoenix. It's magic. So, and we're getting ready for what events we're going to do there next year, what work parties are going to be happening. So we'll let you know as we get that all situated. Yeah. So donate to the to the Yurt Fund. Please donate to the Yurt Fund. That's my ask. It's my birthday ask. And help us to create the sacred space where people can come together to heal, to learn, to reconnect with nature, to open their hearts. So thanks, loves. All right, baby cakes. Yay. Thanks, Tara. There's the button. So I will, again, tomorrow, I will actually post on social media that week-long fundraising that we're doing. That's my birthday request. And don't forget to join the email list so that you can be part of the drawing, which also starts tomorrow. And we'll tell you how to do that drawing. And then the third thing is, if you're not part of the Warrior Goddess Circle, Warrior Goddess Training Circle, if you're not part of the Warrior Goddess Training Circle and you're looking for a place to get tools, to be supported, to be held, to make really great friends, to laugh, to play, to do some serious cleaning, clearing work, to learn how to be in relationship to yourself and others in a completely different and more empowered way, please come check it out. warriorgoddess.com/circle. Coupon code is YAY. We're still in our free offering through November 1st. And then we're going to close the circle. And we start then really deeply into the journey of the 9 moons. So this is not forever. It's just for now. Hope that you come join us and check it out. Go check out the page, warriorgoddess.com/circle, coupon code YAY. Thanks, Serena and Tara. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for your support. All right, loves. Let's do just one more sentence from what we just read. to close. Let's see. Of course, now I can't find something that I want to read. Yeah. You know, if everyone that listens or like is engaged donates $1, it'll make a huge difference. And if you can donate more, beautiful. All right. So tomorrow we'll be reading from page 102. We'll be finishing up this chapter and moving on to the next one. So the practice of loving kindness reinforces the idea that it's not our hatred or judgment that brings positive change to the world. It's our presence and capacity to love unconditionally that does so. Choosing to be compassionate towards someone does not mean you agree with his or her actions. Repeat, doesn't mean that you agree with their actions. It means your authentic heart honors their authentic heart. And this, I believe, is the way that we can make true change by, from an open-hearted place, taking good action, making good trouble. More trouble is needed in the world, I believe, like the kind of trouble where we change the old paradigms, break them apart, reassemble them in new ways. So that's what we're doing here. And I'm grateful to be here with you. Thanks for joining as we read Warrior Goddess Training. We'll be back tomorrow. Same place, wherever you're tuning in from. This is happening every day, 7 a.m. Pacific in Los Angeles, 10 a.m. Eastern in New York, 3 p.m. London. We go anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, kind of depending on what's happening. Usually 20 minutes. Grateful. Sakina, go back and listen to the recording because I so deeply answered what spiritual bypassing is several times. So go back and listen or watch, or get the transcripts of the recording. We'll do our best to start transcribing all of these as well. Thanks. Love you all. And I look forward to celebrating tomorrow, my birthday, as well as just celebrating all of you. Take good care. Bye-bye.